I've got an MRE granola bar that's 24 years old. Let's see if it's any good. Well, this MRE, for being almost 25 years old, it's still edible. It doesn't taste stale, it doesn't taste fresh, but it's edible. Here's a picture from the summer of 1909 in Hawthorne, Nevada, near the Hawthorne Drug Company. And you can see across the street they've got a pet bear. Well, I found a good little parking spot. It's over 10,000 feet in elevation, so I'm bringing a pretty heavy coat. I've got my pretty much my winter clothes on today because it might get a little bit cold up there. We'll go take a look and see what we can find. The pinyon pines are so fragrant. You can really smell the pinyons and junipers and sagebrush in here. It's not the most spectacular scenery, but there's a lot of peace and quiet and solitude. And I do like those rock formations. Very interesting. Here's a Nevada Energy substation. There goes the power line. Definitely has a few stray rocks on this road here and there. Lots of solitude. Some sandy spots. I don't normally cut it this close with the gasoline, but I couldn't afford to get any right now. And it's just a tight week. Be able to get some in a couple days, but I think I can get home without running out of gas. It's gonna be close though. As you can see, there's some mining going on in the distance. It's completely quiet out here. That's looking north. That's north of Bridgeport, California. Where those mountains are with the snow, that's California. There's a Fletcher Station in the distance. Some of the other peaks in California. This is an excellent vantage point to kind of get an idea where we'll be going. Going to be going along that way. You know me, I like to get to the highest point to see the view. At least when I come back, it will be all downhill. Comforting myself in that thought. I'm gonna have to remember where that ephedra bush is right there. And that way I can bring some home and make a pot of tea from it. Look at those rocks. I like that green shade. Nobody else out here today. It's December, off season. It's a little bit on the cool side. It just seems to get steeper and steeper the farther up that I go. I'm starting to see a little bit better up here the higher up that I get. It's so quiet. Like I said, it's getting steeper and steeper. I see a cave on the top of that hill. Fairly substantial switchback. That looks like some pretty rugged country to have to service a power line. It's hot. I heard it humming down there. Here's another shot of that power line. I would say just to walk up this, even on the gravel, is very taxing physically. So I would say this is a moderate to hard hike because of the grade. Starting to see the snow in the shade. Now we're above those power lines. We're about halfway there. It's misleading about the elevation because Hawthorne's about, what, 4,300 feet. And I know we're about 6,000 or 7,000 feet right now. And we're going up to 10,000 feet. So it's been quite an increase in elevation rather quickly. So even though it's dry, it's really, you really can't tell how high up we really are on this little Jeep road. Look at that little grove of trees protected out of the wind. That's looking east towards Nevada. That little strip of highway in the distance is actually US 95 before it heads south. That's the next peak over. I'm not going over there today. Plus it has a lot of antennas on that. I don't think I want to get hit by any microwave or anything kind of radio frequency energy. There's a little bit of snow on the side of the hill in that canyon. There's that power line coming up here. I've got my last cookie, my very last cookie. I'm gonna eat that before I try to get to the top of this peak. Maybe it'll give me enough energy. Getting closer to the top. I'm gonna break off in a minute. Head left, right up the mountain, the peak. From where I ate my lunch to this part of the trail or gravel road It's a 1,000 foot elevation gain. I've got about another 400 feet of elevation gain to go. I think this box behind me is some kind of a electrical box or communication facility of some type, but it's humming. I'm not going to mess with it or get too close to it. There you can see the mine, and there's another place where they're working on it. The little road does not go all the way to the top. We're still going to go off trail to get to the very top, but it makes an effort to get there. See all the rocks. There's a little bit of blue sky over there in California. All you can hear up here is the wind. It's so quiet. It's a short day, and I'm gonna have to get off this peak fairly soon. I could walk in the dark. I do have a light, and I think I can make it. You can see where the off-road vehicles have had a heck of a time trying to get through this part. I've got to admit, I'm not as fresh as I was when I first started. Starting to feel this. I think a lot of it is it's such an extreme change in elevation, and it's higher up. We're going to be above 10,000 feet in just a moment. Look at those trees. It's really hard to tell how high we are, but we're definitely above 10,000. There's a little protected spot with a little tree. A little road or trail. It's almost like a trail now. It's petering out. If I get caught up here, I'm sleeping right there. It's out of the wind, right by that tree. I think I'll get out of here, no problem. Might be just getting dark though. But I always pack to plan on staying the night if it doesn't work out or something happens. I'll be cold, but I won't freeze. This is the leeward side out of the wind, almost towards the top. Here's the end of the line. We'll just have to walk the rest. There's another small, it's an abandoned communication structure of some type. It's still in one piece, but there's no electricity to it. It's not humming or anything like the other one was. Let's check out the view on this side before we get to the very top. Whew. Look at that drop off. Hello. That's one rugged tree. Let's continue on to the top. That's the top where that antenna is. That's not being used anymore. The cable's not connected. You can see all the modern ones on the next peak over. There's the mine again. There's Mono Lake. There's Boundary Peak from Corey Peak. I'm on the top of Corey Peak at 10,400 feet. It's in December, short day. I think we all had a good summer this summer and all our different adventures. Thank you for coming along with me on those. Sure enjoyed it. It took 4 hours to get up here. And I've only got about 2 hours of daylight left, but it's all downhill and I should be just fine. I'm gonna have to leave pretty soon though. Well, that's what it looks like up on the top of Corey Peak, Nevada. Excellent view. Have to come up here sometime when it's a little bit clearer weather and I have more time. And I might also like to go to the next peak over. I'm sure you could see Walker Lake and Hawthorne from there very clearly. That's some good exercise. But time to roll out of here. There's Mount Grant.